We started the Masters today, and there was a lot of talk about Bryson potentially destroying Augusta. That was short-lived; it didn't necessarily happen, but we do know that golf is more than ever. It's an athlete sport. Specifically, the best golfers in the world are well-rounded. They're strong. They're powerful, and most importantly, they're able to withstand a lot of golf, a lot of swings. The more you can practice, and the more your body doesn't break down, obviously the better golfer you're going to be. So it is my job to make sure that you can play as much as you want, whenever you want, swing as much as you want, and your body won't pay the price for it. I've often joked that golf is the most violent sport, if you stop and think about it. And sometimes I get some sideways looks, but if you think about producing 2,000 pounds of force through your spine in the flap of a butterfly's wings, it is a challenging thing for your body. So we want to make sure that you can do that time and time again and not pay the price for it. Specifically, improving your body will help with energy transfer, swing sequence, and club head speed and power. So you can update your clubs, you can practice a lot, but until your body is in tip-top shape and optimal, a lot of these things that dictate what the club does are not necessarily going to happen. Reason number 2 for our off-season training is that distance is obviously growing in importance to our game. Club head speed is a prerequisite to improve distance. And as Coach Marcus has educated me on, and hopefully many of you, there are a lot of things that affect distance. It's not just how fast you swing and how hard you go at it. There are a lot of things, but it is pretty darn hard to hit the ball as far as you want if you don't have a relatively good amount of club head speed. As your junior athletes, or as you as golfers, as you continue to improve, obviously bodies are changing. Some golfers will be hitting it farther than others, but it is a benefit when you can be hitting shorter clubs into the greens compared to your playing mates. And in order to have the adequate club head speed, the golfer needs mobility, where we need mobility. So hips, shoulders, upper back. We need strength. We need energy transfer. We need maintenance of posture. We need all these things. So those are all big words for basically your body, again, dictates what the club does. There's Marcus. Finally, I can see him. I wanted to make sure he was actually in attendance and I wasn't doing this all by myself. So good to see you, Marcus. Thanks for getting all of your information out, getting this information out to some of your juniors and whatnot. So number 3, this is actually one that is very, very underrated. So club path. Marcus is going to be the one to talk to you a heck of a lot more about club path and its importance. But club path is really going to be many times a second order consequence of what your body can or cannot do. The common thing that we see is obviously an over the top or an outside to in club path and all the havoc that can wreak on people. But a lot of these things you're not doing intentionally. You're just doing them because that's what your body is capable of, and the club is just following what your body is capable of. So we are going to work on all of the things that would help you do whatever the heck it is you want to do with your club path. I'm not sitting here telling Marcus what we should do and telling you what you should do, but you want to have the availability to have the club path that is appropriate for what you're trying to do on the golf course, and your body is going to be a prerequisite for that. So many times in the golfers that we see, it's lower body issues. Juniors, as we develop, as we attempt to get stronger, as our bodies grow and change, a quiet, unstable, or limited lower body creates significant challenges for you doing what you want with your club path. So essentially, using the ground and not starting your swing with the lower body is a challenge, and it makes it tough for the club path to follow. And then probably it's not fun, it's not exciting, but it is to me. The biggest thing is going to be injury prevention. We again, like I talked about, golf is a violent sport. Many kids, I think, end up, in amateurs, adults, we end up thinking that back pain, hip pain, shoulder pain, knee pain, we end up assuming that these things are just normal. They're part of golf. They're part of playing a lot. And really they're not. So injury prevention is our big thing. And specifically in the off season, what we're trying to do is we're trying to build you a bigger cup. And I'll explain a little bit what I mean by that. So each body has a relative amount of capacity to do work, right? So for golf specifically, you have so many rounds or so many swings or so many practice sessions that you're going to take on in a year. In the off season, maybe when you're not playing as much golf, this is the time to make your cup a lot bigger. All right. So if every time you swing, every time you practice, every time you play, you're adding water, you're adding whatever it is, whatever you guys are drinking at home, whatever you're adding to the cup, at some point that cup will overflow if you are pushing your boundaries of what your body is capable of doing. So with off-season training, with strength training, with speed and power training, what we're trying to do is build your junior athlete, your junior golfer a bigger cup. And so that they can, like I said before, play as much as they want, practice as much as they want, and not break down. The common misconception in golf is that lifting weights and trying to improve your strength and whatnot is what actually causes injury. And it's actually we have data and research to back it's the polar opposite, is that the stronger you get, the more you can tolerate loads and stresses in your body, the more you'll be able to handle the demands of a sports season. It doesn't matter which season. It could be golf, it could be football, it could be anything. So that is why off-season training is such a good time. We actually have a benefit here in Wisconsin that they don't have in Arizona, Florida, California, is we have time to actually take a little step off the course, focus on some of these things, and maybe build a bigger cup, build a bigger capacity for what we're about to ask our body to do throughout the course of the season. So strength training, adding mass, building power, all these things, regardless of what people have you believe, they will prevent injury, they will prevent back pain, they will prevent the body breaking down.